Hello YouTube, it's Dr. Aeronautics and this is Norsden Land to Neso episode 3. So, it's taken me a very long time, but, oh my gosh. New Venice has been filled in, and there's now actually building land. So, we can now make stuff, and we can go from being very poor to very rich. So, yeah. So there's a number of things that I want to focus on this episode. The first is building a network of bridges so we don't have to keep on crossing the pond like this because, you know, it's really irritating. Are you serious? Freaking squid broke my boat. Okay, so I'm thinking that we'll make that like the first bridge, and then we'll do like another bridge here. This is just a small narrows. We can just make that like a causeway type of thing. And then I want a bridge here for a coastal highway or something, and I want the next bridge here. And now this is going to be a big, big, grand bridge because we have to cross the harbor. And it needs to be both very high so that ships can pass under it. It's also going to carry all of the coastal traffic with it. We also have to be concerned about how far down we'll have to make it. Although it doesn't look like we'd have to go that far, and because the bottom looks fairly hard, there's like no sand or anything. So I'm thinking that we shouldn't have a problem with needing to sink the pillars in too far. But I think it's time that we get a measurement for about how long we need to make the bridge. So I'll go ahead and fill the land into here, which seems to be 6340, and I'll swim over here and we'll subtract the difference from the other side where I'll make the other abutment, and then we'll figure out the length of the bridge. Okay, so we're looking about 6340 to 6315. 75 meters, I think. So that's a good length, 75 meters, and it might have to be longer if depending on the slope we use, because this is a harbor, and we could have some pretty big ships coming through. So the bridge we build is going to determine the largest ship that we can, or the tallest ship that, and largest that we can possibly have, both on the Y dimensions and the X dimensions. So with that note, perhaps a drawbridge is the better option. And I know we have the capacity to make a drawbridge, but the drawbridge that we're going to make is going to be a different type of drawbridge from the one most people are used to. Rather than pivoting, this will move linearly. So it's kind of like a sliding thing. It'll slide out of the way. And I'm thinking that that's how we're going to do it. So coming back, another bridge to here and another bridge to the land. The other thing that I was thinking on was that we haven't really been cave mining at all. So relatively soon, in fact, before we build the bridge, I'd like to go cave mining, and then we'll use the stone that we make to build the bridges. But I actually haven't seen really any caves around here, and I don't want to go toying around with the ground just digging holes in the ground, because that looks really ugly, until we make basements around here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is we'll go out for someplace, look for a cave, declare it a national monument, and then explore it, and we'll make it a big deal, like, yeah, this is the first cave, this is how we got rich, this is how we built the civilization up. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then the third thing that I wanted to do, which may be even before that, is that I want to map this coast. This coast needs to get mapped. This is what we have so far. It's not much. The light blue-gray here represents inland water. And so you can see here's the harbor. The red dot represents New Venice, and this red dot represents the old house that we had where we landed. And the lime green represents a swamp, and the yellow beach sand. So it's not much, but it's a start, and I just want to continue getting this coast explored at very minimal to this inlet all the way up to where the land goes from an east coast to a north coast. So I would like to get that done. And because it's about 2 o'clock and my boat is broken, I suppose we might spend a little bit of time. We'll make the boat, and the other thing that I wanted to do is improve the population of New Venice. So I'm going to... No, that's not what I want. So I'm going to make more doors. And I want to figure out how many we're going to need to make. Because more doors equals more villagers. More villagers equals more hands. And the faster we can build. Okay. So we have one door. We're at one door. No, houses that way. One door, 2 doors. There we go. Okay, so we're at 2 doors, 2 doors, 3 doors. 4 doors. Okay, so it looks like about 4 doors. I'll also go ahead and do that. Okay, so 4 doors is going to take 24, yeah, it should take 24 of these, which means it's going to take 6 logs, I believe. Math. What would we do without it? Okay, so there's our first door. This is going to be perfect timing. Here's our second door. Our third door. And the fourth door. So now there should be more villagers because we have more doors for them. You're welcome, guys. So we'll dump some extra things out of our inventory and just rearrange this around. Here's our extra dirt. So I'm not carrying gravel with me right now because it's far too valuable to me because I have only a couple resources. Let's get the I guess we'll have to do that for now. The iron there and copper ore. Okay, inventory should be all set. So where's Okay. Oh dear. Let's go ahead and sleep on that. I don't want my guys being turned. Where are you? I like that sound. Okay, looks like he didn't get to them. Very important, we have a responsibility protecting the citizens of New Venice. Oh, yeah. Did I place the boat in the water already? Ah, yes. Okay, so we're all set to go. At some point, we might need to dredge the harbor. Okay, so now we can open this up and start customizing it. I don't think that's the word that should be used, but oh well. Okay. And we're basically going to fill in the gaps as we explore. So far, everything north of here has been swamp all the way to the ocean. And now here, this is going to change. So about here, I think that looks like that. Let's go ahead and fill this in. Yeah, that looks about right. We'll go ahead and fill this in again. What does this look like? There we go. Now we're going to need some beach colors. Does this look right? Yeah, that looks right, but I think this goes further up like that. And we're going to have this forming the gaps. That's probably about as far inland as I can see. And there's more water. What is this? Like here, I guess it would be. This is suddenly getting very confusing. Okay, so here's where the coast changes. It's too far. So this is going to be like that, I think. That looks about right. And then this is going to get filled in with dunes, and then this is going to be filled in with swamp. And this again, I believe, is dunes. Yes? Yes. Ooh, that does not look like swamp. We may have a new type of biome here. Ooh, picked up a rose somehow. Okay, so we have forests now. Now where do they begin? Okay, so it appears to be this indentation here, where the inner material changes to forests. And I guess we'll go ahead and use this to symbolize it. Okay, and that should sort the forests. So we're going to go ahead and save here and turn around. And we'll explore the south again. Okie dokie. Southward onward. There is the Norsden land harbor. We may actually get back before nightfall. So then for a while south, there is no beach. Then there's a small beach at the point, somewhat like this, I think. Let's see if that matches. Close enough. So then there's another small pocket of beach down here, looking like that, I think. And we're back to our landing. Now this is when a big beach springs out. It goes southwards like this. And oh yeah, the island. I think this is largely unrelated with the main continent. I'm actually going to modify the shoreline here to be a little bit more realistic. There we go. And this is all beach. And we're going to need to pick another color for planes. I like hyperactive green. And we have some inland water, which is going to be... Where's the point? Here it is. Inland water would be about here. Just have to modify that to make it more point-like, and continue southwestern-ishward. Now this is different from the swamps again. This has to be something. The water is going to follow south. Let's try and change to biome to see if we can recognize anything. And I think... yeah, that looks like it matches. Okay, so... here we go again. Beach. Inland water, and now a forest again, I think. Let's go check that before we actually see what we have here before we actually start plotting. Okay, it's simply a forest. It's good enough, and time we finally got something simple. Just straighten up this edge here to make it a reminder to myself that this is the end of the limits that we know, and we don't don't accidentally mistake that for the actual shape of the water, which would be something quite different than that, I would expect. And we'll fill the forest in to like there. And as I recall, the forest meets the ocean, no beach. Kind of. Put a beach in right like that. Now that should match. Yep. Okay, so more is explored, and we'll go north again because there's still a gap. I want to fill that gap in. But north is home, so why should that matter anyway? Okay, so it appears the inland water reaches to about here. It doesn't quite go through to the ocean. And here's the landing. So we basically have swamp back to about as far as we can see, which is like that. Get this real quick. Okay, time. Let's go ahead and change the map back to the normal. So we could either go caving or, uh-oh, it's going to be close. Or we could start by laying the foundations of our permanent house. And I kind of like that because I want to isolate the stuff from the villager things so I don't get confused. You know, I think what I'm going to do is dig the basement. That's typically what I'll do first, is because it doesn't require the placement of any blocks. It's just digging a hole in the ground. And it does require some planning on my part, so it will take a little bit. And if we're lucky, we'll strike a cave. If not, we'll go look for a cave that we can go exploring in. Okay, I don't think we're going to make it back in time, but I think the place is lit up enough that we shouldn't have many problems with mobs. I think we should carry on from foot from here. Dismount! Little blurb from Monty Python. Yes, it's night. Everyone needs to go in their rooms, I guess you could say. Okay. So now it's digging the basement once we cook some more stuff. Need to take it there. Now, do I... Yes, I still have a shovel. Hello. Well, I like the initial part of the fight, but now it's just kind of irritating. Make them drop something. It's irritating when you have to face them in armor and they don't drop anything. Okay, so this is where I want the home to be. And I want it to be centered with... I'm going to take those trees out. I want it to be centered with the... I guess we should have it centered with the peninsula. So I think here is a good place to put it. And we have 32 on this side. Sweet, that works very easily. So 16 is where we're going to put the corner, or rather the center. And I'm thinking about doing a capital tower this time. So I'll be doing a tower on top with a larger first floor. I think an interior width of 8 would do it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the main tower 8 by 8. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Oops. One more. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means here. And here. Okay, so that's going to be the central tower, and perhaps I'll make the annex only on one side. And we'll make it go to about here. So I'm only going to dig the basement in this part of the building. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, one of the disadvantages in building in a swamp is that occasionally your basements will flood from time to time. So we're going to have to do a little bit of waterproofing. Waterproofing. Maybe I'll dig the first layer first, so that I know where I'm going to have to waterproof. How is it waterproofing, you ask? Well, let's just imagine that the dirt here has clay in it. Compressing a clay rock and then shoving it into the gaps to seal it. That reminds me, I need to get some cactus so that I can start a wool industry. I thought about it in the plan, and I think I want to have the basement 2 levels. That's what I typically do, a B1 and a B2. The B1 will host like a, just a small chill room, and maybe something else. And B2 will host the junk storage, and that's right, junk storage is actually going to be stored on B1. And B2 holds the connection with the metro, and what else does B2 have? I forget. But it's a fairly common design that I use, so I know soon enough. Food's probably ready by now. Food goes in here. Oh yeah, shovel. Come on. I have no ingredients here. We'll make 2 just because I feel like it's going to take, or 3 just because I feel like it's going to take 3. Just kidding. I actually think it's going to take 2, but we'll make 3 just in case. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's building something and then getting stuck halfway through realizing we're going to need more materials. That is really irritating. Especially when it's a very long task, like building the giant marble tower. As I am well known to do. Okay, and we'll dig one more. Wow, quite a deep dirt pocket here. I'll bet it's because we're in the swamp. Okay. So that's level ground, which means this is going to be 3 high, which is the standard that I like. And the way I build B2 is B2 is always smaller than B1. So I'm thinking B2 will be 6 by 6. And, shoot. Well, the entrance will be up here. And I'm not sure how we're going to do the stairwell yet. Ooh, maybe a spiral staircase. It'd be a pain to walk up, but it would look amazing. I think we'll go with the spiral staircase. So in that case, we'll dig 1, 2, 3, 4 down like this. There's the stone, finally. And we'll dig one more because B2s are only 3 blocks high, including the ceiling. Okay, so we need to dig 2 more, I think. And now it's just making it 6 by 6. I was gonna stay down there for the night, but our villagers, we can't have them be consumed by zombies. Citizens of Neso, shall I say. Okay, so now it's just about making it 6x6. I think I said that before. Oh well. Okay, so that's it for this axis. And that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! Measurements are correct. Okay, and we'll put a couple of temporary torches down here just so stuff doesn't spawn. Let me get rid of this stuff. I know this is smaller than what I typically do, but we don't have a way to duplicate materials such as in Tackett, or at least I don't think we do. So I don't want to create a bigger project than we can handle. I'm thinking just because it's pretty simple and it looks good, we'll have a grass floor. I mean, it's green carpet. Actually, no, it's not. I just forgot they, actually, do we have it? We might not have it. Ugh! Stupid inventory organizer. No, it doesn't look like it. I can't stand this mod. And I try and configure it and it doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and infill the dirt now. Okay, so now it's just about transferring materials here. I'm thinking I'm gonna make my house out of wood. Because honestly, I can't think of any other item that I would have lots of and easily be able to create stuff. Maybe I'll make lower sections of stone. But other than that, it's just so irritating how much coal you go through burning the stuff to get stone. And of course I can't convert the dirt to something more useful, which is really gonna stink. Alright, so we're gonna need another chest. And I want to get a bed up quickly, so we'll use 3 of these. And 3 of these. Okay, bed right here. And I'll take the junk stuff straight downstairs. We'll have the metro connection, I think, this way. So we'll put the junk right there. Just like this. Crumbs. That's gonna do it for the junk. Okay, we do have stained glass. I'm very, very tempted to build my house out of that. It shouldn't be too hard as long as I can get sand and... No, I can't get sand by dredging the harbor. I was gonna say, if that could be a double trade-off. I may have just discovered the best thing since rocket fuel. Okay, so that's all of our junk. You know, I'm going to go ahead and dump everything because we're probably going to need as many open inventory slots as we can get. Okay, so next I'm thinking we're going to do the special chest, and we'll get that. This is going to be special. I don't know if that's special yet. I have no use for it. I know all this stuff is going to be very special. And we're going to have to take all this stuff so that I can get this chest up. Now that I think about it, we're going to have to leave one torch in here as well because the villagers don't light up their houses well enough. Okay, so I'm gonna put the good stuff behind my bed, as I typically do in a pseudo setting. So technically this is our third house, and this is where we stay, but this isn't where we're going to be now. So it's kind of confusing. This is our final house, although this isn't the room where we're staying in. No, that room is going to be much nicer. And I'll put the extra tools in here as well. And this is always frustrating when you know there's something good and then you have to reorder it. But it's necessary. I guess I'll classify that as a tool as well. And I think it's night now, so... Okay. So now we're going to spawn back in our house. Goody. I don't like that sound. Oh, okay, it's the squid. I honestly think it's the stupidest thing ever how they make that sound. You don't step underwater. I'm not even sure if we have enough room to store all this crap. No, we don't. Okay, well, I guess what we'll do in this case is smash the chest. Come on, get the chest. Ah, it's in the corner, of course. Okay, and then we'll put down as much stuff as we can, and then we'll come back for that junk. And this is mediocre stuff, so we'll put it here. Oh, just now remembered. Sugarcane. We want to make the map. Now when that all grows, it should give me 60 sugarcane, which should be plenty enough for one map. But of course I need redstone, so... Okay, we should be ready to pick up the rest of the stuff now. Okay, and this is the way we're going to leave this place. Our second home. And there's nothing in there. Okay, so now I can set up the furnace as well, since we have a permanent, or semi-permanent location, where I'm just grouping all of my stuff up. A sort of rendezvous location, if you will. And I have more junk, of course. That doesn't belong there. See, when you keep your inventory organized, you know what needs to go in what chest. It's a lot easier to perform that motion than having to go through the... Oh, where is it? Procedure. Alright. Furnace is set up. Alright, I think we'll end it here. Thanks for joining me, guys, and next time we're going to be building this house up into a Capitol building. Not as tall as my other skyscrapers, but I think at least 5 floors, maybe 6. So, this has been Norsden Land to Neso, Episode 3, and I will see you guys next time.